Hello and welcome back to another episode of Beebosloths Garage. Today we continue on with the Moses painting. I think I will actually be using brushes today. So, without further ado, let's begin. Today we're going to start out with some white. This is supposed to be like some fluffy clouds, so let's try and start out with some nice, happy, fluffy clouds there. I'm not very well versed in how to draw clouds or paint clouds, so if they don't come out right, please forgive me. What I imagine clouds to be is just a bunch of, kind of fluffy, circular things. Kind of looks like smoke a little bit, but you know what? It's fine. So we got God up in the sky. He's mad for some reason. So a lot of these clouds that I'm doing right now, I'm gonna actually kind of bring down the intensity when I do some more black. This is just kind of just to break up the monotony of the background here. And these are just kind of like beams of light, beams of enlightenment. Okay. Too big of a brush for this probably, but not for this part. I'm using this big brush to kind of smooth out a lot of the kind of line work that I was, when I was using this guy, it leaves a lot of lines, but with the brush it'll smooth It'll smooth out a lot of the textures. And whatever mistakes, or not mistakes, but whatever kind of things that I don't like, I'll be able to correct with the black when I go back over it. So that looks good. A little bit of cloud action there. Kind of unify the clouds, make them look like they're all kind of part of like this one bigger cloud here. You know, get some little bit of, maybe some little clouds over here in the distance. And what I really got to figure out is this guy here, this cloak that he's like wearing. As you can probably tell, I'm an expert at painting fabric. Absolute top notch. A little bit of water helps smooth it out a bit. So yeah, this cloak, a lot of it is going to be brought back down with black. I just wanted to get the kind of the most highlighted parts done here with the white, and the rest we'll just, you know, we'll bring it back down. Some clouds kind of rolling in. This guy's blasting his boombox. Just got a little bit of water here. I'm just gonna add a bit of water to this ground that I've been painting, just to kind of smooth it out a bit. I'm gonna be adding more shadows as well. This is just to give it a bit of like texture and kind of just to mix mix up the dryer paint a little bit. Alright, time for a bit of black. I got my golden liquid acrylics here. I'm just blacking in places that I think need a little bit of shading in. Just some rough stuff happening here. Alright, looking good. These little guys look pretty nice down here. I could definitely be getting in here with a smaller brush, but I'm not too concerned about losing detail right now. This is more just about filling in bigger spaces of black. For fine detail, I'll use a smaller brush, and I might go back in with a Posca marker. Always trying to get keep a little bit of the texture in here and stuff. Definitely want that. And he's got some shadow down here, which I wanted to emphasize. Got a lot more shadow over here. Alright, so I'm using the texture of the canvas to just lightly brush the black and kind of create a gradient there. Shading, you know, I'm not reloading my brush with paint because it's got plenty of paint for what I'm trying to do, which is just shade the fabric. I'm not trying to, you know, just drown it. Alright, I think that looks pretty nice. I'm definitely going to bring it down with a wash, and by bring it down I mean like dull it out, fade it out a bit more. But I'm pretty happy with the quality of the shading that is occurring here. Yeah, I think that looks all right. Thinning out the clouds. I went a little bit ham with the clouds. John Ham. I want to make the lightning look kind of sharp and jagged, so I'm doing these kind of rounded lines into it so that it leaves these kind of sharp edges. Alright, yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. I think maybe a little thick in some areas. Like there. I like the roundness in the negative space. I think that gives it a kind of almost like a plant-like vibe, which I don't mind at all. Alright. I kind of wanted to make the lightning touching its finger as well. Like a pull my finger type thing. Alright, now I'm just gonna add a little bit of like texture and things to the ground here. Maybe some like little fissures in the rock kind of thing. So I'm just drying the brush out as much as I can right here on this old rag, and I'm gonna just kind of go over the letters. And I'm gonna make it a little bit like messy because the effect that I want to have is that they've been like scratched into the stone. So I'm going to refine it later, but this is just to create kind of the shadows that will be in the letters, really. So I need it to be a little bit wider than the actual like scratch. But I don't want it to be completely black, you know, so I'm just using this dry brush effect here. And it's kind of coming out exactly how I want it. We also need like a couple, like a crack running through it. So we'll create some little darker areas of imperfection. Yeah. All right. Alright, thank you very much for joining me for another episode. I think we did very well today. It's coming out perfectly. Exactly how I want it to come out. And I'm very pleased with it. working in black and white is very it's very rewarding, and it's very not stressful. Well, for me. So thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for watching, and check it out. If you want to support me, you can buy some of my designs on threadless.com/Beebosloth. Check a link in the description. I have a bunch of affiliate links, so if you want to check out what like materials I use, what microphone I use, things like that, that helps me a lot. And if you want to visit my shop or my Threadless shop, that also helps me a bunch. I use that money to buy supplies, and if I get enough money, I will use it to pay an editor, and the quality of these videos will go up, surely. Alright, thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow. How interesting. I'm learning so much.